Hi everyone, hope you're okay. Eid Mubarak to all of you. Today is Eid and I'm going to make lamb pulao. I'm going to share how I make my lamb pulao. I'm making 5 kg of rice and I'm using 7 to 8 kg of lamb. You can use 5 kg lamb and 5 kg rice as well. That works so right, but I wanted a bit more, so I did more. I washed the lamb properly and I put it to boil. I did ginger garlic in there. Now I'm going to add all the whole spices. I'm going to put them in a net cloth and add it to the boiling meat. I used 1 handful of sokha dhaniya, 1 handful of bay leaves, cloves, black cardamon, fennel seeds or soft, cinnamon stick, black pepper whole and zeera. Zeera I'm using powder one, you can use the whole one as well. Now it's time to add salt. 1 tablespoon for each cup. I'm making 5 kg of rice, which is approx 16 cups. In total 16 spoons will go in there, but I'm going to add 8 spoons now and 8 spoons I'm going to add later on. And I'm on the side, I'm going to prepare my other stuff. I'm going to soak the rice and prepare the masala. I'm going to give onions a dark brown color. When they've turned to this stage, then I'm going to add about 10 to 12 tomatoes and about 10 to 12 green chillies. I've cut them already. I'm going to add this in and let it cook for a while. At the same time add ginger garlic as well. Now about the spices. I've added 8 spoons of salt before. Now I'm going to add another 8 and handful of zeera, handful of sokha dhaniya. I'm going to use Yakhni pulao masala as well. I've added crushed chilli powder, black pepper whole and the crushed one as well. I'm going to add all these spices in and cook the masala. Everyone's got a different way of making pulao and none of the ways are wrong, but I'm just sharing mine, the way how I make it. It turns out to be very juicy, tender and flavorful. I've added all the spices. I'm also going to add 1 cup of yogurt and let it cook for a bit. I'm also going to tell you about boiling the lamb. We're not going to do it 100%, we're going to do about 80%. The rest we're going to cook in the masala again. And the broth we made of it, that's going to use to cook the rice. We're not going to waste any of it. We're going to add all of that in there. I've added a few dried plums. It's totally optional, but I think it brings in more flavor, so I've added a few. This is how your masala should look like. Now I'm going to check on the meat. Remember, we have to cook it only about 80%. The rest will be cooked in the masala and while cooking the rice. Now I'm going to add all the lamb to the masala and I'm going to cook it then on a high flame. And we're going to save the broth for cooking the rice in. I've took the net cloth with all the whole spices out already. I put it aside and now we're emptying all the lamb. And I'm going to tell you about the water as well. I've got the idea, so I'm going to go with my intuitions, but for 1 cup of rice you use 1.5 cup of broth or water to cook it in. So for 16 cups, approx 22 cups of water, or maybe a little more or less, you can see accordingly. I'm going to cook it on a high flame until all the spices are blended in. When it looks like this, then it's time to add all the yakhni or broth. I'm using all of it. You can see how much you need accordingly. As I've told, for 1 cup of rice, 1.5 cup of water or yakhni. I'm also adding some lemon juice. It's totally optional again, but I use it. Lemon doesn't let the rice to be gloopy. On the other side, I've soaked my rice for about 2 hours and washed them properly. Now the water is boiling, so I'm going to add all the rice in there. When you pour all the rice in, you have to cook it on a very high flame and let all the water absorb into the rice. Also a reminder that not to mix the rice too much, otherwise it would break. And when it comes to this stage, as you can see, the water is absorbing. We're going to give it a stir, a soft stir, and we're going to wait until the water is getting dry. It shouldn't be fully dry, there should be a little bit of water in there. I'll show you before putting steam on. Yeah, it should look like this. I'm going to show you properly. When it looks like this, there's little bubbles of water coming as well, and all the rice looks soaked in the water. Then we have to put the foil or any cloth on top and put the lid on and leave it for about 20 minutes. It's best to put the tawa at the bottom. It doesn't let your rice stick from the bottom. After turning off the gas, I left the lid closed for about 20 more minutes, and now I'm going to check the rice. The rice are beautifully done. I'm going to give it a mix. Very gently we're going to dip the wooden spoon in, and as you can see the rice are juicy and the meat is very tender. You should try making it this way. It turns out to be very flavorful. If you have any questions about ingredients or quantity or spices, then you can ask me in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, Eid Mubarak to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful Eid.